Thank you. I think that's an excellent question. So I was in New York City about a week ago to talk to different UN agencies in dealing with human rights issues across the world. And one thing that kept coming up that I think that really applies to Canada and it really is the crux of this question is that intersectionality piece. You know, we don't live in vacuums. Communities do not live in vacuums. Communities themselves are pluralist, they're vibrant, they have diversity of opinions and ideas. And it's that inherent respect that we have for one another that we must foster, not just between communities, but really at the individual level. How do you do that? Well, it is by learning more about that different ideologies that are existent. For example, it is okay to have a gender that is not binary. But a lot of communities, within communities, a lot of people are not aware of these kind of issues. And I think that when we educate more at that personal level, it helps in really spreading out, branching out to a community, to more tolerance, to more respect within a community. And I can give you the example of the Muslim community, which is so pluralistic, it is so diverse within itself, where people come from all across the world that practice this faith.
Doing crime. It seems like such a simple, simple reason.
What's this got to do with 103? You guys are sidestepping the subject all the way.
I was just asked a question that was from the public. The whole point of this meeting, my understanding, is to talk about anti-racism and racism in general. We even stopped the whole meeting for you to give you a chance to ask your question. So you have to be fair with us too. We stopped everything for you. At the end of the day, I think that as a society, for example, if you take, in the Toronto District School Board, when we started to collect disaggregated race-based data, you could actually identify, you could say, well, what's happening in the west end of the city when it comes to, just say, for example, my heritage, I have a Grenadian background. You could actually say, well, how are grade 10 girls doing in French in the west end of the city as a community? And you take that information, if they're doing poorly, then you can put in programs specifically to take on some of those challenges. But the beautiful thing about that data, it's not limited to just, black people or indigenous people, it's, for all communities. So if you're Ukrainian, if you're Polish background, heritage, you can look for ways to collect that data because we have a lot of different trends based on immigration patterns and where people live. And we as policymakers, but I think more importantly as community members, we could actually dig a bit deeper to figure out why is this happening in some neighborhoods and why is it not happening in other neighborhoods, and look for ways to better position young people for success. In the child welfare system, the population in Toronto of black community is under 10%, but 47% last year, the kids in care are black. We have to ask the question, well, why is that the question?